Welcome to Standard Pick 1, a fantasy-style draft for the new standard set, Edge of Eternities. I'm Beal.
I'm Danny.
The way it works is that we each take turns choosing a card from the new set until we each have 10. In between picks, we'll discuss why we picked the card and where it will see play / how it will impact the meta. Danny, can you explain how the point system works for the fantasy draft?
Yeah, so after drafting our picks, we will watch both MTGO challenges and major tournaments such as Standard Showcase, SCG Con major events, and Pro Tours. For each instance of a card in the top 8 gives us a point. For example, if a playset of a certain card we drafted was played, we would get 4 points.
We'll keep track of the meta and how each of our picks are doing and where they're performing well. At the end of the set, we'll analyze why certain picks succeeded and why others failed. And without further ado, would you like to high roll to see who goes first?
Absolutely.
All right, we're rolling 2d6s. You can't see it, but 5. Okay. 10. Okay, I will go first. My first pick for the fantasy draft is Seam Rip.
Seam Rip. Interesting.
Seam Rip is the new portable hold that I think is going to see play in, depending on the meta, a lot of main boards and definitely a lot of sideboards to deal with the low-to-the-ground aggro decks that I'm sure are going to be popping up, especially after a rotation. You know, after a rotation, we usually see a lot of aggro decks. This can eat a Soul Cauldron. This can eat a FOMO. This can eat about a million things that you're probably going to see.
I was going to say Storm Chasers.
Storm Chasers, too. You're probably eating, like, the Otter or something, right? But,
yeah.
I mean, not now that this town is banned, right? We're not bouncing. I mean, maybe, there's a lot of shells out there that are, using Pixie and Storm Chaser still. Get Out is, like, a suitable replacement, but the problem is that Azorius' mana base is really bad.
Yes.
Speaking of which, do you want to talk about the shocks and how they're not going to be on either of our lists because the shocks are the easiest first 5 picks of all time?
Yeah,
right?
They're the second best land, or like some of the best lands ever printed.
Yeah, arguably the first of fetches and basic the revised alpha
like fetches,
dual lands,
alpha shocks.
Yeah,
I mean there's people that play legacy with shocks instead of the revised just to get just because they're that good and can be a budget replacement.
Yeah. Well, I'm not spending like $7. Yeah. How much is underground? It's so much money.
$700 versus $20 per Watery Grave.
Yeah. So during rotation, obviously we're losing a lot. We're losing all of the pain lands from Dominaria United and from Brothers War, and we're losing half of the fast lands. We're losing the blue-black fast land, the red-black fast land, the white-green fast land.
Yep, the enemy ones.
Yes, the enemy. I was like I couldn't remember if it was allied or enemy.
Enemy.
So basically that leaves us with the OTJ fast lands, and that obviously creates a large inequity in the current mana bases because the shocks are not printed with allied and enemy in mind.
No, they didn't.
They did a mix for God knows what reason, and it sounds like, according to Gavin Verhey, he said that they're not going to do major land reprints in Universes Beyond sets recently, which is really depressing for Standard.
Yes.
Very, very Standard, depressing for Standard. So what we have right now is we have Watery Grave coming in.
Yep.
Which is the Azorius one. We have
the Dimir one.
Yes, that's Hollowed Fountain. Yes, the Dimir one. I was just thinking about how sad I was that Azorius won't have it.
Yeah.
We have Stomping Ground, which is the Gruul one.
Yep.
Which one is the white-red one? Sacred
Foundry.
Sacred Foundry. And then we have blue-green. We have Breeding Pool coming in.
Pool.
And then what's the
Godless Shrine.
Godless Shrine.
Yes.
I always think of Hollowed Fountain when I think of Godless Shrine. So what that means is that some of the mana bases are way better than others.
Yes, particularly I think it's Orzhov and
Boros.
Boros,
yes. Because Orzhov has Concealed Courtyard still, so it has its fast land, and it has a shock.
Yes.
So, we have 2 really losing colors. We have 5 losing colors, but we have 2 really losing colors. Yes. Azorius doesn't have the fast land, doesn't have the pain land, and doesn't have the shock. So they literally have everything has starting town, everything has verges, and everything has surveil lands.
Yes.
So Azorius has no bespoke dual lands that are good for it. Same with Rakdos. Rakdos is really
Yeah.
also suffering. So basically, in my opinion, and I'm sure this will face or shape a lot of your picks too, Azorius is in the dumps and Rakdos is in the dumps, almost unplayable.
I would mostly agree.
Yeah, I mean, starting town, Verge, whatever. That's just not enough to make a mana base. My heuristic is always to have at least 12 dual lands,
Yes.
and I'm not running for surveil lands. Azorius Control probably survives because they don't care.
Yeah.
They're slow enough. They don't care. They can run the Restless lands. They can run Meticulous Archives.
Yes.
But everything else.
Yeah. I mean, it obviously, like any deck, it depends on pips, and with Rakdos and Azorius, more so Rakdos, you cannot have more than one pip.
Yeah.
It is very unpractical to have more than one pip.
Yes. Yeah.
Which is a major deck building cost.
Yeah. Yeah. So some decks that aren't getting shocks can still play because they have the fast lands, like Izzet still has Spire Bluff Canal, so they're fine. But obviously they are not as good. They'll probably need to run starting towns even in the 2-color decks, which is not where you want to be necessarily.
Yeah, especially because with shocks and rotation, as touched upon earlier with aggro, Burn is not looking like a bad deck.
Burn is definitely looking like a good deck. I mean, Boros has a million options, and I think it's just been waiting, in the wings.
Screaming Nemesis is an insane card.
Boros Charm
is
yeah.
insane. Bolt Wave's insane.
Bolt Wave's very good. We still have Lightning Strike, right?
Yes, we still have Lightning.
Oh, because that was an Ether Drift, yeah.
Yes.
So, obviously we have Burst Lightning.
That one case that I'm blanking on the name of that refills your hand.
Oh, Crimson Pulse.
Yeah, Crimson Pulse. That card's great.
Yep. Before we get too deep into the burn, because maybe some of our picks might shape how we feel about it, what is your first pick?
My first pick is going to be Isotel Explorer.
Isotel Explorer, really?
Yes.
Okay, why?
I think it just already has a deck that it slots into and makes the deck significantly better.
What is the deck that it slots into already?
The Tifa Landfall deck.
You think that it belongs in the Tifa Landfall deck?
Yes.
Interesting.
Because the way I see the curve is you throw down Tifa on Tifa, and then you get one of your basic fetches on turn 3. And then
Fabled Passage.
Yeah, Fabled Passage or any of them. You play that down, you double, you get in, and then turn 4, you play down your land, play down Isotil Explorer. You then replay your fetch land, and then you get to fetch it again. That is 3 triggers for Tifa. I think, and Tifa's not the only thing in that deck. The reason that deck I think is playable is you also have Mossborn Hydra, which is effectively a Tifa that doesn't lose its power.
Yeah, I've had much more trouble dealing with Mossborn than I ever have with Tifa.
Yes.
Yeah, but the mono green landfall is a good deck. I think that it's vulnerable, more vulnerable than a lot of other decks to things like removal, to things like counter spells.
Yes.
So I think that it's the reason it wasn't, on my first pick list would be because I think that is a little. I think it's a little too vulnerable, and I think it's a little too fragile to potentially. I mean, none of its cards are rotating, right? Like,
yeah.
But I think that it doesn't have very strong legs. I'm kind of a hater. I'm kind of a mono green landfall hater.
I think that deck needs Snakeskin Veil.
Mm-hmm. What doesn't it still have it? Yes,
it has it, and I think and obviously in my curve that doesn't fit. But I think when you play around with Snakeskin Veil, and also a lot of removal, there is still plenty of good removal, but we are losing a decent amount of good removal. And I think the thing with that deck, removal is ultimately, unless you're playing a pure control deck, you don't have infinite amount of removal. And, if they play that Chocobo on turn 1, and then they're getting all these landfall triggers, and then they play the Tifa, and then the Mossborn Hunt. That's like 3 things you need to remove. And like, yes, you're probably going to draw into 3 things.
Yes. So I agree that it's true. Obviously, you don't have infinite removal, but you don't have infinite lands.
Yes.
So once you've used your lands, I kill your creature, you draw a creature, play it. Okay. You need to draw a land. You need to have like more resources than you do.
Yes. I think that's where Isotil Explorer can help patch some of those holes.
Okay.
By
That's
getting
interesting.
from the graveyard. And that extra, like, if you get 2 Fabled Passages in the graveyard and you have an Isotil, like, yes, it's a dream scenario, but that's, like, an insanely good And with the 1 mill off of its landfall, I actually don't think it's that far of a dream now that I think about it.
Okay, I guess I didn't really consider like the card advantage inherent in Isotil Explorer.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it is good. Somewhere else I could see it is in. Do you remember the Nissa Lumra combo?
Yes.
So I think it could belong in there. With it obviously you can mill a billion cards with that and Head Shredder. And then you can return them all with the I can't remember. It's the Elf Detective. Yes. Aftermath Analyst is really good. Lumra is really good with it. You can still do like the funny Pitiless Carnage, like sack your whole thing if you really wanted to. But I think that's competing for some card slots potentially. Maybe as like a 1 or 2 of. But I do think I don't think that's a tier 1 deck.
I don't know if it's tier 1, but I think it's an aggro deck.
The one I'm describing or the one you're describing?
The one I'm describing. Yeah, the one you're describing I don't think is tier 1, but I think it could have some legs.
Yeah. My prediction is that you are correct that it will be a tier. I think your deck will be a tier 1 aggro deck until people discover the other decks.
That's
I mean, my just full transparency, my expectation is that going into this meta, we'll see mono green, Orzhov Sacrifice, and Boros Burn, and mono green Landfall. Did I already say that? That's the 4 different. Okay, so mono green Landfall. Those 4 decks I think are going to dominate the top of the meta.
Yes.
And I think it's not going to be close.
I agree.
Until we figure something out, I believe that there's probably going to be a couple decks that come out of the woodworks that we just don't expect at all. Yeah. As it always does with rotation, right? It might. Hopefully, it's before before the next set. Yeah. But sometimes something like Pixie that's existed there forever, for months and months, sets and sets, exists without being discovered. I think in order for this meta to shake up from those 4 decks, there's going to be a new discovery that needs to be made.
Yeah, there's definitely got to be something new. Which I mean, we do have. Isn't it standard RCQ season with?
Yeah, the first one around here is the 17th of August. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's RCQ season. We have a store championship that people are going to grind for.
Mm-hmm.
Fabled is not a bad card. It is going to go for something.
Yeah, well, definitely. I feel like it's going to be in the 200 range for sure.
So I think we're going to see a lot of attempts to innovate.
Yep. I'm always brewing, but we'll see. Are we ready for my second pick here? I think, given our discussion here, I think my second pick has to be Umbral Color Zealot. Yep.
That was originally my number 1, but I pivoted at the last moment.
Yeah. I think Umbral Color Zealot is going to see play, obviously, in every single sacrifice deck. It is free. It's free. Yeah. Whether that deck ends up becoming a sacrifice deck or like a life gain synergy ping deck, I think that's a little bit up in the air. Both of them are valid. I think Sephiroth being kind of the only like sacrifice payoff in the deck is a little weaker than I initially thought. I did a lot of play testing with it, and it was just fine. Even with Umbral Color Zealot filling up the graveyard, like with Rest in Peace, it's just hard to have that be the only sacrifice payoff and have it not brought back with Rest in Peace. Or not Rest in Peace, Raise the Past. Raise the Past, yeah. So
I've thought about the sacrifice deck a lot, and I've kind of determined that I'm with you. I think like Sephiroth's its main and there's the other ones. There's like the 3 or 4 mana Blood Artist from Tarkir, and I think there's even one in this.
There's a 2 mana Blood Artist, actually. I did forget about the 2 mana one. The Vampire Blood Witch.
Yeah.
That one is good.
So, yes, there are like other paths, but Sephiroth's obviously the good one. I question the merit because, like we were talking about with removal, what happens when Sephiroth goes?
Yeah. So Vampire Blood Rage is brought back with Raise the Past. I did forget about it. I just hate playing a 2-mana 1/1.
Yeah.
I do. I really just hate playing it. The thing about the Raise the Past deck is it can, whether it's sacrifice or whether it's obviously life gain, it is very resilient.
Yes.
It's very resilient, but it's also very vulnerable to things like Pinnacle Star Cage, which is the new temporary lockdown, to things like Race the Past, gosh, Rest in Peace. Yes. I keep switching them up.
I do think it leaves an interesting situation, though, because right now, currently, I would say white decks, I think there's an argument to play to Rest in Peace. But most decks are opting for Ghost Vacuum. Because right now, we don't have a major Raise the Past deck yet. Nothing's really broken out. And the only thing out of the graveyard I can think of off the top of my head you really want to be hitting is either an Oculus, which that's barely around anymore, or a Vivi.
Yeah.
And you don't really need your you don't really need to hit anything else in the graveyard. I mean, if you can bring back a Vivi with your Ghost Vacuum, like even if your deck's not built around Vivi, if that card sticks, it's a Shieldred. If you let them untap with it, you're in trouble.
So, I actually have been disagreeing recently with after playing. I played a bunch of store championships recently with Ghost Vacuum in the side. I played some with Rest in Peace in the side. I played some with. I have one Cauldron I own. Yeah. I played one event with one Cauldron in the sideboard instead of a Ghost Vacuum, and that did feel good. But the problem is when you have one Ghost Vacuum versus one Agatha's, all they need is 2 things in the graveyard.
Yes.
And they just need to activate it on your end step, and all you have, because you can't activate it twice. Yes. So they activate it on your end step, and in response, you get rid of the thing they're exiling. But then they untap, and they have their Cauldron untapped, and you can't do shit about it. So, I think, given that, that play pattern, which is pretty awkward, and the fact that Rest in Peace just shuts off all death triggers, is going to cause sacrifice to be a little bit worse than it is, and I think people are going to make that switch to Rest in Peace over Ghost Vacuum.
That's fair.
Because just nulling every death trigger is really strong, yes. Which is also why I think the life gain, synergy version might just be a little bit better because it stands on its own 2 feet without all the death triggers.
Yes.
But anyway, would you like to do your second pick here?
This is hard.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go for my personal favorite. I don't know if it's necessarily the second best card out of all that's remaining, but it's Weapons Manufacturing.
No way. Okay.
I have been thinking a lot about this card. I've done a lot of playtesting with it. It's 1 in a red. Whenever a non-token artifact enters, you make a munition token. And I think it's like when that leaves, specifically, it's when it leaves. I think it's each opponent loses 3 life.
Is it? I thought it was 2.
I
think it's 2. So we're gonna have the card up here in post. So
okay.
You look it up and double check. So I've seen. Look, I love this card. The design is super fun. I think it's awesome. I am not so because it shocks something. It does to any target. Yeah. If it was 3, that would be really good.
Yes.
So my problem with this card is that I just don't know how many artifacts can you have in the chamber. Like, does Tezzeret make it good? Like, I don't know. Like, can you have enough? Do you think?
I think you can. I think you have to be smart about what you're playing. I think there's a lot of artifacts. If you go back to Lost Caverns of Ixalan, there's a lot of artifacts that do something that an instant or sorcery might. Like there's that blade that edicts, which in some decks, like the Raise the Past deck we're talking about, yeah, that card's terrible. But in different decks, that's a removal. There's a card that trying trying to think. Duress, but for creatures and artifacts.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like the skull.
Yeah, it's the skull. There's, I think it's called, I don't remember what it's called, but there's a vial. It's like it's something with an
draft.
M.
It's draft. Mephitic draft.
Yeah,
or something?
Mephitic draft. Yeah, that when it enters and leaves, you draw a card, and that's like card event. So I think and obviously these are all in black, and we're talking about Rakdos, which but they're 1 pip.
Have you seen the Jund version?
I've not seen the Jund version.
So there is a Jund version, although there's a Jund. I've seen Jund sacrifice.
With the
with manufacturing
with the insect that does
yes
damage. Yes
biomechan insect guy. I don't know, biomechan insect. I'll just say that. I only know the blue-green uncommon from the draft, which is biomechan engineer. But I have seen that, and it seems like a tier 2 deck. The problem is that the mana base.
The mana base is bad.
It's really bad.
This is out of pocket hot take.
Okay.
I question United Battlefront is a very good card.
Okay, I don't know where you're going with this. But, oh yeah, okay. United Battlefront.
The Azorius mana base, as we discussed earlier, is very bad, and I think in a synthesizer deck, weapons manufacturing could be a very interesting, because it's not on cast. So your repurposing bay is making these. And you can also use these to find your 1-drops with your repurposing bay.
So manufacturing says whenever a non-token artifact enters?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. So you're playing this in Jeskai?
Jeskai, I could also see... I'm not super familiar with the synthesizer deck because once I saw the card's $50, I kind of tuned it off.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
But from what I understand, a lot of those white artifacts are not necessarily the important ones.
The problem that I see with that is that the synthesizer deck doesn't need win cons. It needs to survive.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it doesn't need a worse mana base, too.
Yeah. Well, it's better than Azorius.
That's true, but Jeskai's worse than both.
Oh, yes, Jeskai's worse than both. And splashing might be hard.
Yeah.
So like I said, this is Hot Pocket out of nowhere.
Hot Pocket.
But I've been thinking, Hot Pocket.
I like that.
But I've been thinking about it, and I've been thinking maybe. And another very important thing is I'm going to triple check this, but I was positive.
Okay.
Yes, when this artifact token leaves the battlefield. That means if they play down their Pinnacle Stargaze, all those are triggered. You could play down your own Pinnacle Stargaze. That's an angle I just thought of. You could build up a bunch of these, play down your own, wham them for a bunch.
That's actually that's interesting. I knew as soon as you were pointing that out, that's where you were going with it. That is funny. I wonder how. I mean, yeah. I mean, I could see it. I could see it. Okay.
I think it's yes, I don't, like I said, I probably should have picked something else, but it's a personal favorite of mine, and I do think it has legs.
Yes, I will say I'm surprised it's number 2.
Yes.
But I could see it. Yeah, I could see it being like later on in the picks. I just like an interesting concept. The card design is probably my favorite in the set. Yes. I agree, but unfortunately I've been picking uncommons that we'll see main board and sometimes sideboard play. You know what? You went with a hot take. I'm going to go with a hot take. Are you ready for this? This is not even going to earn very many points if it sees played the way I think, because it's going to be a 1 of or a 2 of maybe. I'm going to go with Adagia, the Windswept Bastion, which is the white planet.
Oh, okay.
So I think that this deck is going to see play in whatever mono white tokens turns into. Mono white tokens could go Azorius tokens still with the mana base, and I think that's a good way to go. I seriously think that's how it should go. And I think the tokens package doesn't really care about blocking as often as you think it would. You know, like it will chump things, and that's fine. But there's so many times where you crack a carrot cake and there's nothing else to do with it. You sink that 1 power in, and in the control matchups, especially if a caretaker's turned on and then you Elspeth +1 or whatever and make 2 3/3s, you will turn on Adagia when it matters and make a copy of Caretaker's Talent, which can copy itself, which can copy the other. You know, it can copy that. It can copy maybe Builder's Talent if you need to return something else. It can copy it can make a copy of an enchantment version of Mistmoors that comes in as a 7/7.
Yes.
It can do so much, and relatively, I mean, mono white tokens is already playing tapped lands. It's already like, and it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I think people are overlooking this card specifically just for that deck.
Yeah, I think in that deck it will be very powerful. I don't know where else it could see play.
Nowhere.
I was gonna say, like, I think the initial thing is, on first glance, all of the what?
She's playing Merfolk.
Sure.
My Azorius Merfolk deck.
I guess with
as
Deep
a
Root,
one of.
Yeah, I guess with Deep Root you have a bunch of do nothings, and you can. Yes, I guess it could see play in Merfolk.
And I can make a copy of Deep Root.
Yes.
Or in a vehicle.
I think the reason people are overlooking this is that all of the station planets in Standard look not good. I mean, for anyone being like, "Oh my gosh, it's Gaia's Cradle," we already have that.
With the land from.
Yeah, the artifact enchant. I don't remember what it does. The thing that flips from
that
Ixalan.
thing. Yeah, no. Reaching grasp of some Itlamok or something.
Yeah.
Growing rights of Itlamok. That's what it is.
Growing rights of Itlamok.
I pulled that one out of my ass.
Yeah.
Growing rights of Itlamok.
I mean, there's Three Tree City, which most
That's
of
what I thought you were talking about.
most of these decks that are going wide. I also, this is a great, like, I get ramp and stuff. I also just don't know what the mana could be used for. Like, by the time you get 12 power to crew that up, what is it doing?
Yeah, I totally agree that every single planet is really bad except Adagia in this one deck. I think it will be I think it will be an extremely powerful mirror breaker.
Yes.
And nothing else. But that means it's still going to be in the mono white deck.
Yeah, you take out like a plains or something.
No, you don't take out anything because they're losing so many. Like, they're already. So mono white tokens isn't going to be mono white anymore. The reason it was mono white, Lay Down Arms is gone. So you don't need to be running all those dog shit planes. Yeah. You can pair it with something else now, and it's good. And it's fine. You know me. I've been doing Azorius tokens forever. Or Jeskai tokens, Azorius tokens. Yeah, maybe not Azorius these days. After rotation, we'll see. But it doesn't need to replace anything other than a basic. It would be happy to anyway, Yeah. I think we're pivoting away from the mono white and finding something else. And in those decks, you're fine running one or two more tapped lands.
Yes.
Because I think you'll be able to. I think the meta is going to be fast, but I don't think it's going to be so fast that you can't afford total 3-4 tap lands, whatever you end up having to do. And I think it'll be a really amazing card in that deck against the mirror, and it will see play nowhere else. That's what I think.
You've sold me.
Okay.
I believe in this card for that deck.
Yes. In the mirror.
Yes, in the mirror. I think outside of the mirror, it could hold its merit occasionally, because not every matchup do you need to be blocking.
I agree. Yeah, no. Definitely. So, or just, when I say mirror, I should just say any control matchup.
Yeah, any control
matchup. Because it might just be possible that the control decks aren't only caretakers, even though I think it should be, because caretakers is a control deck that beats control decks. But, sure. And plays 2-drops and plays like creatures and shit. Anyway.
Looking at my third. Sorry, there are some good picks here.
Okay.
I think I want to touch on removal.
Okay.
And so I want to talk about Archenemy's Charm.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go over the modes, right?
Yes, the modes. So the first one, it's 3 mana and you pick one. The first one is exile target creature or planeswalker. Kaido's still in the format, so hitting a planeswalker is relevant. And exile and Endurings are in the format. Exiling something is relevant. Yuna is in the format. Exiling something is relevant. The second mode, I don't know when you're using that, to be frank. It's
So the return.
Yeah, it's return two creatures and or planeswalkers to your hand. I think
From your graveyard.
Yeah, from your graveyard. It's fine. I'm sure there's a nicheness where you can use that. I just don't know when. And its third mode is, I think, the sleeper one, which is put 2+1/+1 counters on a creature. It gains lifelink till the end of turn.
Yeah. So often in the past, I feel like it hasn't been this way for a bit. But in the past, Gix's command was you would frequently, because it used to be very mid-range focused, and now we're kind of out of that. You used to do wipe enemy to 2 power less, or just all 2 power less, and then give something lifelink and swing in. And that was usually the two mode, like basically always the two modes. It was either that or have them sack something. These days, I feel like it's always have them sack something, and then sometimes you clear the board, or sometimes you do the other thing.
Yeah.
I think the potency of being able to put 2/1/1 counters and lifelink at instant speed is interesting.
Yes.
I think the Kaido point is true, but worse than something like Shieldred's Edict was, because it has hexproof on their turn. And if you're holding up that mana, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and Kaido's not the only planeswalker that
That's
exists.
true. Does his Elspeth and
Tezzeret's going to be hard to kill. If there's a dedicated Tezzeret deck, Tezzeret's going to be hard to kill because he's going to get a lot of loyalty. And Elspeth's hard to kill because it's hard to get through the dorks.
Can my fourth pick be Tishana's Tiebender? I think Tishana is going to be so good post rotation.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I do think I think it's an interesting pick. I think that the problem is the mana bases. The mana bases are too hard to run this card.
Yes. I think it will. I know we're looking at the current moment. It will be a card that gets better over time as we get more shocks, and as the Spider-Man land that just got announced. I do think it gets slowly better. I do think it only has a home in mono black at the moment. I think I've seen some talks, because I love Dimir to death, and I've seen talks playing Dimir. You don't put it in Dimir. I don't think you're not playing it on turn 3 in Dimir, and while I think it could be useful later turns, I think it's going to be dead more often than it's not.
I do think, so you mean Dimir mid-range specifically?
Yes, mid-range.
Okay. I do think that Dimir Excruciator / maybe if the mill version takes over, which maybe I should pick something for that. But I do really like that deck. Who knows how good it is. And the mana base isn't that bad, and I have a version that runs Enigma Jewel. So anyway, which is my favorite card in Standard. Well, I can't disagree with you that it has potential. And maybe mono black is going to be better than normal just because of the mana bases are so limiting in what you can actually play.
I think it's limiting, and there's just a lot. The mono black cards are just good. Bloodletter is just a good card. Unholy Annex is just good.
I might buy. I should probably buy like 4 Unholy Annexes, because those decks are going to be good still too.
Yeah, they're really good. Like Unholy Annex is an absurd card.
That and Demon Wall.
Yeah, Demon Wall's not, like, I was looking at it, and at first I thought the Demon Wall was a little bit of Demon Wall's a fine card.
I for the longest time also thought Demon Wall was okay. It's just a demon. Like, okay, yeah. Can we run anything that's just a demon as long as it's a 2-drop? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. Like, actually.
I mean, and I think with mono black, it's almost reminiscent loosely of like the Jund plan, because you have like the perfect curve. Like, there's so many perfect curves. You can do turn 1 Duress into Demon Wall into Unholy Annex, or even turn 1 Duress into Cruel Claws Heist into Unholy Annex, or Unstoppable Slasher, or Preacher of the Schism.
It's true. And I've kind of always hated mono black. Yeah. It's always been annoying. I'll be honest, I've always hated it, but I've never played against it enough to know why it's not actually a meta pick.
Yeah.
Why is it not a meta pick? I mean, is it just too vulnerable to removal and stuff? I mean, seriously, we've had that package in existence for a long time now.
I mean, the only new thing going to it is Arch Enemy Charm, but I think also the shift in the format and mana, I think will change things.
I mean, yeah, that's fair.
I think with it having consistent mana, compared to a lot of these decks are going to struggle to, not all of these decks, but a lot of decks are going to struggle to have consistent mana. I mean, we had it good.
Yeah, we really did. We had the best standard mana base we've had a long time, obviously because of 3-year rotation. But you know, I think the game is more fun when you're able to play the cards you want. And mana bases are important, which is why it sucks that we're not going to get the other shocks for another 6 months. But whatever. That's how it is.
Magic, baby.
I love Magic. Okay, let me think about my next pick here. I actually don't have any idea. I'll go with one that I think is a shoo-in, okay? Even though I think it's not that strong, I think it will be potent in decks like Burn. I'm going to choose Nova Hellkite. I think that we're going to see a lot of 1 toughness creatures post-rotation.
Yes.
We already maybe less than we have in the current standard, but or the current meta, whatever. I shouldn't say current because we're recording this on Tuesday, which is when the rotation happens online. Technically, rotation actually happened on last Friday, but who's playing standard right now? Nobody. Before the actual online rotation. I think it hits a lot of things. It hits Llanowar Elves. It hits Flood Pits Drowners. It hits the 1/1 pixies that are from that one spell. It just hits so many things, and then it's also 3 mana, deal 4 damage to their face or to potentially a Kaido, right?
Yes.
Flying over a lot of threats. Oh, obviously it also hits what's it called? The Siren Pirate. I can only think of creature types. Spyglass Siren. I can only think of creature types today. I don't know the Elf Detective and the Siren Pirate. I can't think of the actual creatures. Sometimes, probably not, but sometimes it will also hit a Marauding Mako. Yeah. There's a lot of 1 toughness good creatures right now. I also think Dimir will start using that 2/1 Finch that gives hexproof to something.
Yes.
I think that'll be good too. As a replacement for Mastermind. I think there's a lot of 1 toughness creatures that it's relevant to. And even if it's not, it's 3 mana, deal 4 damage in the burn package, which I think is always going to be relevant. And you don't mind playing it for 5 mana either. It's just a good card. It's just a good card.
I mean, yeah, it's a very good card. It follows all the fundamentals of the person who gets to spend more of their mana usually wins. And in a burn setting, if you get flooded, that's a 5 mana card you can play that you're also playing at 3 mana. And burn, you never really want to go above 3 mana, which I do think there's question if it competes with Nemesis, but I mean, you also probably, is it opponents that it hits?
That's actually what I was looking at right now. I think you can hit anything, but it might say creature to put a control. It does say, damn it. It does say opponent. It does say opponent. I was thinking of exactly that as you were saying it. That's funny.
I mean, I think it's also relevant because it's a dragon, and we
That's
just
true.
had to hold Caustic Exile or Exhale.
I literally didn't even, I don't know why I didn't bring that up because it was one of the reasons I was so high on it.
Yeah, it's a dragon.
That and Sarkhan into this is so good.
It's very good.
It's so good. It really is. I don't know what the color combination of dragons is going to be. I think it's going to be at least Boros plus something else just for the mana base. Yeah. But, I would like, Mardu could be good. Naya could be good, but we did lose Wrath, who was the reason to play Naya before.
Yes.
I'm not really sure.
I mean, I could also, what do you say?
Magmatic
Boros?
Hellkites. So I said, Boros just because they have, what's the 6 mana dragon that has the burn spell attached to it? It's a white dragon with the omen.
Oh, I don't remember its name, but yeah, it's the omen.
6 mana 5/4 omen dragon in white. That's just a really good card.
It is. I almost, because we were discussing this earlier before recording, Teamer, because then you get Ureni as a dragon.
I don't think I think in the decks you're running Nova Hellkite, you're a little bit too low to the ground to ever cast a Ureni.
I guess, but
and you're not playing the thing that does 3 damage to everything. Yeah. I don't think, because I think that's a different deck.
Yes,
and I think maybe a dragon could be good in there. I'm specifically talking about the tempo dragons.
Okay.
With Sarkhan
Yeah.
with Magmatic Hellkite
Yeah.
is a crazy good card.
Yeah, Magmatic Hellkite is way too good.
It was better before people were running a bunch of basics because they have to now. But
Does it only hit non-basics?
it does only hit non-basics. So in the past, you literally would sometimes hit like a Jeskai player, a Jeskai control player, and they would have like 1 or 2 basic lands in their deck. And if you hit them with a second Hellkite or they drew a land or something, it's like you are just you're fucked. It's just good anyway. I mean, obviously you're gonna have a target. You're gonna have a target to hit in most matchups on turn 3 or 4, depending on if you have the treasure or not. But anyway, red-based dragon tempo decks I think are just gonna be good.
I can agree with that.
Tier 2,
Tier 2, yeah.
maybe tier 3, but still good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know if this is necessarily the card that fixes the package, but it definitely boosts it.
I agree. Yeah.
There are, I know you're not familiar with the series, there are quite a few dragons in Avatar.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Particularly in the Fire Nation, which is probably going to be red.
Blue? Oh, sorry.
There is specifically a very, like, one of the most famous characters in Avatar has a pet dragon that he rides around.
Oh, the guy with the scar on his face? Eero? No, that's Uncle Eero.
No, it is. So it is. Oh my gosh, I'm blanking on his name, but it's the Avatar before Aang.
Oh,
yes.
I didn't know that guy existed.
So like the whole lore is like all the avatars have a pet. So like Aang has his bison.
Yes, Appa.
Yes. So going back on his question, there is a chance we might see some more dragons in Avatar that maybe fill that role.
Yeah. Don't disrespect me. I saw the same first 5 episodes of Avatar on replay on Cartoon Network, once a week for 2 years. So I know.
Nickelodeon.
Yes. What did I say? Cartoon Network?
Yeah.
Oh, of course it's Nickelodeon. It was at Kings Island.
Yeah,
you remember that?
fan.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
bad. Yeah. I saw it on something. So I know who Appa is and stuff. I know who Aang is. But yeah, no, I actually didn't know that. That's the problem is with all those big fucking dragon creatures is that they're always going to be like 5-6 mana. We need another 3-drop dragon.
Yes.
We need a 1-drop dragon. but that's never going to happen.
I was going to say design space you can't.
We need a 1-drop
because of Mox
changeling.
Jasper.
We need a 1-drop changeling in Lorwyn.
True.
That's what we need.
That gets interesting. Anyway, I need to go to my 4th pick.
Yes.
Which, screw it. I think we've been beating around it. I'm going to say Tezzeret. I'm going to stick on the artifact train.
Okay.
I think Tezzeret's a good card.
I don't disagree. Where do you see it?
Where do I see it? I don't think it has a home right now. Maybe it may have a home in Synthesizer because if I remember correctly, Battlefront can hit it.
That's true, yeah.
So maybe there, and that has artifact creatures. It has to be an artifact creature based deck.
No, not necessarily, right?
I mean, not necessarily.
You can untap Enigma Jewel, and that's really good.
That is really good. I guess I didn't think mana-wise.
Yeah.
So I think. Sorry, you just reminded me of a terrible idea.
Okay, good.
You could untap Millennium Calendar.
Just shut up. No, I shouldn't have said anything. It's my bad. I shouldn't have said. No.
Tezzeret Millennium Calendar 2025. No, but I think it's just a strong card. Like, do I think it has a home right now? Do I think it's gonna break anything? No, but I think it's just a generically strong artifact card. It interacts favorably with my favorite card in Standard, being Sir Ginger. So I just like it.
Hey.
I think it's gonna be good. Like I'm not an artifact player myself, so I can't tell you like, ooh, this or that. But I think it slots into Synthesizer, which I think just the mana base of Synthesizer is bad, but there is that one artifact they play that gets planes to their hand.
Yes.
So the slight mana fixing makes it a little like I think Synthesizer's still going to be a deck, and I think Tezzeret slots into that deck as a 1 or a 2 of.
So I do have an Is It version of it made, which is, Is It isn't losing the fast land. They're not getting the shock, but at least they have like a decent mana base if you use starting town and whatnot. But I think, again, I do think that Tezzeret is good, and the reason I didn't pick him is because I think he has a lot of potential, but he doesn't have a home right now, like you said. Yeah. And outside of, we're only going to be counting points for it until the end of the set, right?
Yeah.
And I think people are going to try and make him work, and I think that he will see some success. I just don't know that he's going to be the meta breaker that everybody is mentioning him to be in Standard. I think another, sure. But I don't know. I do like Tezzeret, and I think he's fun. And I'll give you some help on how to start building those decks. You start with Enigma Jewel and then 4 Collector's Vaults.
Yes.
And then you have 8, and then you have like 2 or 3 Tezzerets, maybe 3.
Yeah.
And then, and that's your first 11 cards in your deck. And and then figure it out. Because Collector's Vault works really well with him, because he does say when an artifact enters, right? So you making those treasures every turn does help. I think Tezzeret's good. I think he's got potential. And I think he's funny in the decks that want to, like, insole a nutrient block or something.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's going to be that strong right now.
That's fair. I think we are also... This is a crazy hot take. I know,
Oh, boy.
This is another hot pocket.
Oh, boy. Okay. Hot pocket.
I think we are approaching a viable colorless deck.
Okay, you've lost me. You've completely lost me.
I think with Tezzeret being to like untap certain mana rocks, maybe not true colorless, but like
Blue Tron in Standard.
Blue Tron or something like that. Because you have Sire of Seven Deaths, you have the new Eldrazi we just got, you have Ugin.
Okay, Ugin is the only payoff.
Yes, the only payoff. I mean, Sire of Seven Deaths is an insane card.
You can run that in any deck.
Yes.
Yes. So you know what a better payoff than Ugin is having a color.
Yes. Okay, so I'm not saying you stay true colorless, but like
having 2 colors.
there's like, okay, yes, but like if you look at like Modern, it's like the Eldrazi deck's basically colorless, but they play green because Malevolent Rumble's a broken card.
Yes, but
So
they
that's
also...
that's more what I'm saying when I mean colorless. It's
I know
the
what you
deck
mean.
is base colorless, but like yes, you have other colors.
I get it, but it's just I just don't. Ugin is really, really bad once he gets on board, but you have to get him on board, and you have.
Tezzeret helps with that.
Does he that much? I mean, he untaps one of your, but no, he doesn't. Is because you don't. He gets on board, and then he's like 3 toughness or whatever, 3 loyalty probably, right? He starts at 3.
4.
4. He really starts at 4?
I'm like,
Is that true?
positive.
Because that's actually a lot. That's actually a lot. If it is, but I guess it's not a +1. It's a 0, right? So I guess maybe that makes sense.
Yeah, it's 4.
It's 4. Okay. But so it doesn't. For some reason, I was thinking it was a +1. It's a +0. I just don't think like you're untapping your Iron Crag. Okay, like it's not most boards will just be able to swing into Tezzeret to kill him because you don't have much to stop it in that deck. And if you can get to the 7 mana, yeah, it's really good. I just don't. I'm not a believer. I'm just not.
That's fair. And like I said, it's a hot pocket. I'm probably wrong, but like, and I don't think it's at this moment. But I think Tezzeret is another piece in that puzzle that we're building towards.
Okay. I was saying we needed a 1-mana dragon, right?
Yes.
You know what else we need? It's a 1-mana angel. I'm going with Lightstall Inquisitor.
Yeah, that card's good.
It is a good card. It's not Hopeless Nightmare.
No.
But it is on a stick. And that stick has creature types.
Yes.
One of which is important. And it's an angel. It's a 1-mana 2/1 Vigilance Angel, which is fetchable off that Sunstar, whatever, that angel that comes in and tutors either a plains or a 1-drop creature. So imagine, I'll take you to another world, okay? Close your eyes and imagine with me, okay? Turn 1, Lightstall Inquisitor.
Yeah.
There's 2/1, and your opponent's like, ugh, that's a little annoying. Turn 2, you play Giada. They're like, damn, I might kill that. What if they don't, though? Turn 3, they don't kill it. You warp in that one motherfucker, get another Lightstall Inquisitor, and then you play the other Lightstall Inquisitor, and it enters as a 4/3. That's pretty big.
Yeah, that is pretty big.
And it didn't cost you much of anything. And all you really need for it to be that big. It's not a 4/3. It's a 5/4 if you had a Lightstall on turn 1.
Yeah.
It's a 5/4. I mean, this just makes the Giada package viable. It really does.
I think so.
I shouldn't say viable in the sense that it could be a tier 2 or 3 deck. It might not be tier 1, probably not, until we get a good 3-mana Angel. We have Resplendent Angel, right? That's the name of it, the 3-mana 3/3. I think it's Resplendent. It's not good right now because we just don't have the life gain payoffs. Okay, like we have Lyra, but you're just playing Lyra anyway. Like that's your only life gain. You don't care about making the Angel at that point. I don't think. But you're also fine just skipping to 4 mana and filling in the turn 3 with something like the Warp into the 1-drop into other things. You can fill it with your Warp, or just other 2 1-drop things. Young Valkyrie plus a 1-drop or whatever. I think that the Angel package is here now, and I think it's annoying. And I think it's also interesting to bounce this card with Pixie, stuff like that.
Yes. I definitely think it's interesting to bounce with Pixie. And I think, a Savannah Lion with Vigilance is not a bad 1-drop.
Yeah, I know. It really isn't. Also, you could always run in your Angels deck 1 Pixie.
Yes.
So again, turn 1 Lightstall, turn 2 Giada, turn 3 you swing with both of them, then you tap Giada for Angel mana, play the Warp person, get a Pixie, and then play the Pixie and bounce the Lightstall, which is pretty decent in itself.
Yes.
And then again, because it's turn 3, you have the mana to play it again off of the Giada mana.
Which can be backbreaking.
Yes, absolutely can. Because you didn't lose the attack because Giada has Vigilance, right? So, in that scenario, it does enter as a 4/3. But it's a 1-mana 4/3 that disrupted your opponent's hand. It is good. It's good. Like, there are so many good play patterns with this card.
Yes.
Many of them do require Giada.
Yes, they require Giada, and I think a small elephant in the room is that Cut Down has left the format.
Yes.
And at least in the first couple of weeks, I think a lot of people are going to look for the Cut Down replacement because we've been spoiled by Cut Down.
Mm-hmm.
And a popular one that I've been seeing going around is Stab.
Yeah, I prefer Disfigure, but that's fine.
Is Disfigure?
It's the exact same thing. Maybe not. I don't know. they're the same card, but
so Stab -2/-2 that kills Giada.
Yes, it does. Cut Down did 2 though.
Yes, Cut Down did 2, but I think it's relevant when we're looking at decks are probably going to run Stab that plan gets a little worse without Giada.
I don't know that they will. Maybe. Dude, Stab has got to feel so bad to put in your deck.
It does. As someone who has tried to put it in decks, it feels really bad.
There's no way. I just don't think that it's going to be like. I think it'll be relegated to the sideboard.
Yes.
100%. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be main boardable. I also think that maybe it's fine. Like, the deck is running a lot of top end too. You have 4-mana Angels that are good. Maybe Archangel of Wrath. Or Archangel of Tithes. Maybe. I'm not super confident on that one, but maybe. And maybe you could slot. I think that the 1-mana 2/1 Angel has to be good. Like, and it if they have to get rid of a land in their hand, that comes in tapped, sometimes that's just enough to win the game.
Yes.
it really is.
Depending on the deck.
Yeah, like.
What is your thoughts on the interaction between it and like Aven Interrupter?
It's funny. I wish that Aven wasn't just a bird. It's like a bird wizard, maybe. I think it's not good enough to justify.
Okay.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't think that Angel Interrupter. Maybe. I just don't.
I don't think in the Angels deck, but I think in a different
Aven
deck.
Interrupter. Okay. Again, Aven. The Angels deck is missing a good 3-mana creature, so maybe Aven Interrupter. I just don't think that the synergy is good enough to warrant the exile. Tax. It's just.
Well, the thing is, you don't play Aven Interrupter just for that.
I know. Okay, yes.
I thought of it off the top of my head.
I'm thinking about it. My problem. I love Aven Interrupter, and I've tried to put it in so many decks for so long. I just hate playing it on the draw. I really hate playing it on the draw. it feels really bad once they get a 3-drop creature down, and then you're just sitting there fucking looking at it. Like, it just feels really bad. But I mean, it's not, it's not bad. It isn't bad, so I can see it.
Yeah. Going to my next pick. I think you just talked about a very specific type of card, so I'm going to talk about my very specific type of card.
Okay.
I really like Halia, Guided by Light.
Oh, okay.
The mono white one.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about mana bases.
She's single white pip to warp.
Yes.
Okay.
Which I think the warp is very relevant. Because we talk about Orzhov has a good mana base. I think Soul Sisters or a variation of Soul Sisters doesn't look bad at the current moment. Especially because Essence Channeler with a shock, you shock in something, and then you're in a deck that gains a bunch of life. You're triggering both of that, even Lunar Convocation. And one of the weaknesses of that deck is card draw. Finding card advantage. Your best bet is really playing Enduring Innocence. But I think Halia, that if you gain 3 or more life, draw a card, I think that is very relevant. And a lot of the life gain, I mean, Case of the Forgotten Feast, Hinterland Sanctifier, Life Creed Duo, all matter when creatures enter. So I think Warp, being able to get two enters off of her, I think is a relevant factor of that card. And if I remember correctly, the body isn't really that bad.
It's a 3/3, I think.
Yeah, I think it's a 3/3 for...
And she also counts herself entering? Am I crazy?
Let me double check that.
I'm like pretty sure she counts herself.
Yes. Whenever Halia or another creature or artifact, which I don't think is that relevant.
No,
in
I
that
didn't.
Deck.
I didn't know it said that, but yeah.
I mean, I think also hitting an artifact isn't a bad thing. And again, hitting in a deck like that, gaining 3 life, I don't think is that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's pretty trivial.
So being able to draw that card, I mean, even if you have like a Case of the Forgotten Feast and a Hinterland Sanctifier.
It's an uneaten feast.
Uneaten Feast. Yeah. And then you warp this in. That is, you gain 3 life right there and draw the card, and then warp her away, and you play her down again.
I want to disagree, but I really can't. I mean, it's true that it does patch like the biggest issue in those decks, which is usually card advantage, especially if they have. I mean, Uneaten Feast usually is card advantage. It's just the problem is post sideboards. It isn't.
Yeah.
Because they're always going to have some sort of graveyard hate. But I do like that Halia persists through that. You know, it doesn't care about those. I'm picturing her in a raise the past deck.
Yeah.
I think that's where she belongs. And I do think she's strong. I never really considered her to be that strong, but I agree with you that it does fix the problem of that. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think it's good. So I didn't even have it written down at all, but I do agree with you that it is very, very good. So, I mean, it's interesting. I think the problem with that deck is that there's going to be, I think Screaming Nemesis is going to be running around again.
Yes.
So,
need to be running removal to kill Nemesis.
Yes. Definitely. You need to be running removal to kill Nemesis in response to them hitting it with a shock or something. Yes. It's really got to be. Yeah, but I do think the deck has legs.
Which, I mean, Orzhov is one of the few colors that I don't know if in that deck because the curve's low, but I mean, you probably could sneak an Archenemy's Charm in there. With shocks and fasts.
I mean, you could. I just don't know.
I don't know if it's worth it, but I'm saying it's a consideration.
It is, sure. It's a consideration.
And the lifelink, not every creature is going to have lifelink. So
well, the problem is you can't shoot the Sheriff Screaming Nemesis because it's a mercenary. I lied. Sorry, I don't know why I lied. That's just definitely a lie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's a lie. I think it's like a horror or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, no. I mean, Shoot the Sheriff is going to be good into it. I think black is going to be one of the only things that can really answer it effectively. Yes. But yeah, I'm not sure on the Archmage's Charm, and I'm not sure on Lunar Convocation, but I do think that she will be
I'm
good.
not sure on that card either, but it's just another example. I think the shocks enabling some of the Bloomburrow when
the last ride
game life.
I don't think the last ride is going to see any play, but I know I wish to, but I agree with you that there's potential. There's definitely potential. I'm gonna go with, I mean, the easiest thing, which is a null.
Yeah.
A null. I mean, what is there to say about this card? It's super powerful. It is going to counter the overlords. That's the biggest one.
Yeah.
It's gonna counter caretakers.
Uh,
It's gonna counter a card we haven't said, but probably will. Pinnacle Starcage.
yes.
It's, I mean, a null. As we've kind of reached a card type creep, if you've noticed, where so many things are just randomly artifacts and randomly enchantments, where they would normally be a one-time effect, or they would normally just be a creature that doesn't have either type. You know, we have just started putting card types on shit for fun.
Yeah.
You know, I guess we doing enchantments now or whatever, right? I think the fact that this hits the overlords is crazy good.
I didn't even think about the overlords.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just good.
Yeah. I mean, it hits so much. It's 1 mana. It's very backbreaking. It's.
I would not be surprised if this is the thing that earns the most points in the entire thing.
Yes, it probably will. It's
Yeah.
it's an easy slot in, especially I think people are gonna try and brute force Demir.
Is it brute forcing?
I don't know if it's brute force. I'm pessimistic on the deck. I'm probably wrong, but I'm pessimistic on the deck.
It wasn't in those top 4 decks I listed.
Yeah.
I still think it's going to be useful. I mean, as long as Kaido's in the format,
Yeah.
Demir's going to be good, right?
Yes, and getting Watery Grave does make the deck
Yeah.
better.
Yep. So I mean, yeah. You could do your deck pick. There's not much to say about it all. It's
there's
just
not
so
much to say about it all.
it's
I mean,
so good.
countering the overlords. I think the only like issue with that is like yes. Well, I mean yeah. I was
Counters
gonna
weapons
say like
manufacturing.
what?
Counters weapons manufacturing.
Oh. Wrap it up. He won.
That's
I
right.
lost. He
My-
countered my pick.
My number 6 counters your number 2.
Yeah. I've gone completely out of order, so I don't even know what I've said and haven't
too.
said. I'm gonna go with Cosmic Grand Zenith.
Okay.
I don't remember all the details of this card, but I remember it being really good. But mainly because it is not Corey Steelcutter. I will say that up front. It is not Corey Steelcutter. It will never be Corey Steelcutter. But I think that's like saying like, oh, it's not $1 million, but it's still like $100,000. Like it's still a good card, in my opinion.
Yes, it is a it's 1/10 the size in your analogy,
Yes.
even right of that. Where do you see it seeing play?
I think it finds its own archetype. I could see it maybe in a Azorius package. I don't
Right
think,
now, Azorius
maybe not right now Azorius.
or Zav, maybe.
I think it's very similar to Tezzeret. I don't think it has a home, but we also talked about standards in a place of discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there are a lot of homes being built right now that we don't know about. I mean, we saw a guy a couple months ago take Throne of the Grim Captain to an RC and do fairly well.
Yeah, he did do good. The first day he did very well.
Yeah, first day he did very well. So I think writing off, like, especially, like, I think if we were a couple sets into rotation, it's a little easier to be like, yeah, this doesn't have a home. It's not going to find a home. But I don't think there's there are not many homes right now. And I think so you have to look at these cards that are just good. And Cosmic Grand Zenith, it's a 2/4. The 4 is relevant in toughness.
Just there's nowhere to run.
Yeah, nowhere to run. So 2/4 is relevant. Both of its modes, I think, are relevant. I mean, I could even maybe see this in like a mono white token. Probably not because they're running a lot of wraths, but you know, it's
Also a lot
it's
of
a
high
possibility.
mana spells.
Yeah, a lot of high mana spells.
So I talked with this, we did a pre-release together. We talked about Boros.
Yes.
I think this sees play in maybe a Boros go wide because you still have Immodanes. You still have some things. I mean, it's not terrible. I don't want to say the card's terrible. I think the card is good. I think that it will find a home eventually. I think that it's also good. What's the Demonic Ruckus is good with this type of card, where you care about the second cast, whatever. Like I mean, I could see a deck playing a 2-drop, turn 1 plot, turn 2 2-drop, turn 3 this, cast the plotted thing on the 2-drop, and then you make 2/1/1s, whatever. And it's pretty good. That does sound pretty good. I just don't know that there's enough in red-white that, in terms of card advantage, that allows you to cast 2 spells very often. I mean, is this good enough? And maybe I think the answer probably actually is yes. Is this good enough to where you're happy only triggering it twice ever?
I mean, I think so. That's 4 pieces of cardboard hitting the table.
5 counting itself.
5 counting itself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, okay, I can't deny the card is raw strength wise very good. I don't know why I feel so much apprehension about it. Because I mean, you knew I guess not everyone knew. A lot of people knew that Steel Cutter would be great.
Yes.
A lot of people also thought that you should run in a braid and then it'll be fine. But I just don't know that I don't know. I don't know why I feel so much apprehension about it. I do think it'll see play though. So
I think I'm not gonna say Corey Steelcutter wasn't insane. It was a problem, but I think it did. The reason it had a weird narrative around it and its banning was because it was beatable a lot of time. It wasn't winning these super major events all the time. Now, did it completely warp the format into beating it? Yes. That's why it didn't win these events, and that's what a lot of the narrative is missing, is that it's not winning because every deck is built to counter it. But I think that's why it's hard to evaluate this card, because it's like, oh yeah, well, Corey Steelcutter, we were able to counter that. It's like, yes, but we had to warp the whole format. This isn't going to warp the whole format. It's not Corey Steelcutter. I wouldn't even say it's necessarily in the same league as Cutter. But that doesn't take away from the fact that it's very strong. And it's going to make those bodies. I think it can push the advantage. I don't think you always need to make the bodies. Sometimes you just need to push that 1 or 2 extra damage that the counters can give you. And so I do think that I think it's a strong powerhouse of a card, and I think it will see play.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can't disagree with you. I think that it's kind of undeniable that it will eventually see play. Yes. It just is that strong. So, what is there to say? Yeah. Okay, I gotta make my next pick. I'm sorry, trying to figure out whether we're on pick 7 or pick 8. I think we might be on pick 7.
We're on pick 7.
Pick 7. Okay, you've been writing it down. I'm glad, because I have not. Pick 7. I'm gonna go with. So did you just do pick 7?
No, I just did pick 6.
Pick 6. Okay, pick 7. Pick 6. That's a football. Okay, let me think, because. I mean, here's the thing: is that you really haven't picked much off of my things that I would prefer in the top 10. It's just that I don't feel confident now in what I had. You know what? Okay. Consult the star charts.
This was the card I was talking to you about earlier.
Really?
I'm not sold on this card.
Not at all.
I'm not. It is on my list because I feel like it is my naivety as a newer player, but I'm not sold on it. I'm really not sold on it.
Let me pitch it to you, okay? So I don't think that it's going to replace stock up in a lot of decks. I think in the control decks, did you ever play when Memory Deluge was used?
No.
Okay. So Memory Deluge was a really strong tool for control decks because it was instant speed.
Yes.
And allowed you to pick 2 things off the top. Star charts not only is instant speed, but it allows you to oftentimes look at more cards. Obviously, yes, if you're kicking it, it is 1 more mana, expensive than stock up is, but it also allows you to have not just optionality in terms of how much mana to spend to cast it. Sometimes you're using it as an impulse or maybe as like an instant speed sleight of hand, which obviously you really don't want to be in that position, but sometimes you will be. And when you are in that position, at least it's there as an option, right? Sometimes, though, the other optionality is hidden optionality, which is holding up counterspells in control decks. I don't think the control decks are going to be playing stock up anymore. I think they're going to be using this just because it was so scary playing sorcery speed control, and you let down they're holding up their big spell or whatever, like an unholy annex, because they think you might no more lies them, or you might 3 steps ahead them, or you might do whatever, and they're just holding it back for when you eventually tap out to stock up or do whatever.
Yes.
This allows you to, in perpetuity, keep them on the back foot and keep them guessing, like Dimir always does, because Dimir has their flash threats, they have their counter spells, they have their removal, they have so many options. And this being an instant speed is so crucial for those decks that I think that it will take over it, like in Azorius Control specifically. I think it will take over the slot that Stock Up had.
The instant speed I'm sold on. My issue on reading the card, I'm going to pull it up so I get the wording exactly right. Look at the top X, where X is the number of lands you control. If you're playing this on 2, which you're not, I know you're not saying you're ever playing this on 2.
Yeah.
If you can avoid it. But that's only 2 cards.
Yep.
If you're kicking it on 4, that's only 4 cards. That's 1 mana more than Stock Up. And you're looking at less cards.
Yes.
Later on in the game, is this better? Yes. And I guess Control's trying to go longer.
Yes.
But I don't know. I'm just not sold on it. I think the power of being able to turn 3 Stock Up, like, yes, you want to be able to counter their Unholy Annex or their 3-drop. And I think that is bad. But I mean, in Control, you have answers to a lot of those things.
Not Unholy Annex, right? Like,
Get Lost.
Yeah, but like you don't like doing that, right?
I mean, you don't love doing that. But I think taking a hand of, like, only lands in a Stock Up.
Or Dimir Control or any, like,
Dimir Control. I can see the use for this card. And I can see why people are saying it is very good. I'm still not sold on it. I think the instant speed is very good. I think being able to do something with your mana when you don't counter something is very good.
I would like to point out that I also don't think it is as good as it has been hyped to be, which is why it's only my, pick 7. But I still think that it will see play, and I think it's gonna be good in those control decks. I do. I mean, like, it can't. I don't think it's. I can't shake that. I mean, think about how many times you've seen your opponents for 3 mana cast 3 steps ahead just to draw and discard.
Yes.
Like, it is. There are so many situations in which you're fine playing it unkicked, you're fine playing it kicked. Like, just being able to hold the instant, because there are times where somebody who definitely has a Stock Up in hand doesn't use it because they have 3 steps ahead.
Yes.
And the fail case for 3 steps is obviously draw 2, discard. And you've seen that happen, I'm sure. I've seen it happen a million times.
Yeah, no, it happens often. I think it's also important to recognize that Coil and Catch is an instant.
That's true.
And I think in my head, like, yes, the instant speed is better than Stock Up. And I think, like, super late in the game, it is going to help you find the cards you need to finish out the game. So I see the argument there. I think early, I'm not a Control player. I hate playing Control. It gives me a headache. But my brief experience in Control, I really liked the early ways to find all of my answers to stabilize. Which I could just be bad at playing Control and looking at it wrong. But I felt like Stock Up allowed me to stabilize far easier than this is going to let me stabilize. I think this is, dare I say, I think this might be win more in some case.
I see what you're saying. But I still think I'm going to hold my ground on the control decks. Like, I do think so.
And I think you're right, and you're a better Control player than I am. So you're probably right on that. The way I interpret your argument and the way I see the card is it is only that much exponentially better than Stock Up when you're already in a position that you don't need it to be better than Stock Up.
Yeah, maybe. Like, maybe it's just a mirror breaker or something. But like, again, I like, Stock Up is so strong that it's obviously hard to measure up sometimes. But I I do think that you're gonna have the answers. I think you're gonna have the answers enough times to where if you really don't have the answer, then cast it for 2, you know, and dig for it. But I think you'd rather in control hold up the mana to use your answers rather than that. But again, like I don't think your argument's weak or bad, but I think I just feel it. I feel it.
Yeah, no, that's fair. My number 7 is going to be Cosmic Waif. I think this card is either going to do great things or nothing at all. But I love to straight up Goif it, so we're going to try it. It's not as good as many other Goifs in some ways, and in some ways I think it's better. And I think there's one obvious home for it in a brew, and whether it's a brew or a meta deck is the real question. It's Abzan Goif. You throw this down with like Rest in Peace, and it's bingo time, really.
You think you're not like Ghost Factory right now. You want to slam down the interesting. Okay.
I mean, I think pick your point. I mean, I think maybe Ghost Vacuum might be better. I think Ghost Vacuum might be better in. I think it's an interesting divide. I think this is one of the reasons I think the deck's very tricky to brew. Because if you're an Abzan, there's a reason I'm saying Abzan. The moose is on the loose. Ketramos and Goif, I think, interact favorably.
I agree.
And so, but I mean, that's the honest question. Ghost Vacuum's better for Ketramos, but Rest in Peace better for Goif. So what do you focus? I don't think I have an answer.
In my opinion, neither.
Neither. What would you focus?
So I have a brew with this. I think it's the strongest way to build it is you just run it in like a mid-range deck that happens to use Collect Evidence a lot.
That as well. Collect Evidence and Goif are very strong.
Yeah.
And especially, isn't Bushwhack 1 mana? Or not Bushwhack.
It is Bushwhack that you're thinking of, I think.
Or Analyze the Pollen.
Yes, that too, yeah.
So I think it can be a very strong card. It is the card I'm not super confident in this card, but I see a chance, and we're betting on Moto players, and there's a lot of Magic boomers that are like, oh my gosh, Tarmogoyf? So I think they're going to try and force it, and it might work. And I like the card. I think it's a neat design.
I think the mana base is kind of bad.
The mana base is bad. I think the game plan can go south very quickly. You're relying on, 2-3 drops? But I mean, I think the argument is if you have a strong Goif, you're going to have a Ketramos that's turned on, and that's pretty good.
I love turning on Ketramos.
That too. The moose is really on the loose now.
Yeah, right. No, but I do have like what I feel like is actually a pretty decent build. Like it really fills the graveyard really quickly. It fills your own graveyard really quickly, and then uses things like Analyze the Pollen and Urgent Necropsy and Deadly Cover-Up, which notably, obviously, dodges with Ketramos. Ketramos doesn't care about it, right? Because he's indestructible. It like you use like Overlord of the Baelmerk, you use Town Greeters, you use Esper Origins, and you just super like hard self mill. You have Unholy Annex and stuff in case you just want to like do Analyze for 8 on one card or something.
Yeah.
And I mean, Urgent Necropsy is so good. It's so good. I mean, hitting like one of everything or whatever. Yeah. It's just so fucking good. But yeah, no, I mean, I can see Cosmic Waif. It's interesting enough that I did build something around it. There's not many things I built around in this set, but it is. I think it's interesting. It is definitely one of those sink or swim cards. Like it either gets there or it doesn't.
Yes.
And the nice part about it is there's no real, sideboard answer to it, right? Because Rest in Peace is bad into the deck. So, what is there? Like, there's not much.
Just flat out removal, but.
Yes. But then removal's bad against Ketramos, right? So.
Yeah.
You need exile removal, so.
Archenemy Charm.
Yes, exactly. Archenemy. That's exactly it. Because Cosmic Waif is going to warp the meta just like that. It's actually so good that the entire meta gets warped around it. Yeah. My pick 8, right?
Yes.
So my pick 8 will be, something that I think is kind of a shoe-in, which is Pinnacle Starcage.
This is the other card that I am not sold on.
Okay. So yes, it is obviously worse than Temporary Lockdown. In a lot of ways. In some ways, it's better. It it dodges in the decks that you're wanting to play it, right? It dodges, it dodges your authority to consoles. It dodges. Maybe you have builder's talent. I don't know. I'm a big builder's talent head. I know there's not a lot of caretakers builds use it, but I do think it's good. So those are the upsides. Obviously, it has the activation, which is an upside technically. I mean, not too many times it's coming into play, but at least probably. The downsides. Oh, also, it's an artifact. That's an upside for the Simulacrum Synthesizer deck. Marginally. It's.
I don't think the synthesizer deck wants to run this though.
I think it's fine running it in the sideboard, right? Like you're okay sacking your early artifacts.
I guess
to get rid of their board.
I guess.
Because you can order the stacks, right? You can order it to exile and then make the XX card instruct.
Yeah.
So at least there's that. Obviously, it being an artifact makes it pretty weak to the decks that you want to hit with it.
A braid is so
very easy to run. A braid is very, very easy to run. Someone overheard in an LGS in Florida. Suplex is a standard all-star, so that's a problem for the deck. Yeah. Is Suplex. No, but unironically, yes, a braid is very good. I also feel like if the green-white counters thing ever, I mean, green-white counters won't be good now. But speaking in the future, just because Silencing mana is so bad, even though we have some good stuff with Diadrine and whatever, the one drop artifact hating dog, that's a great card.
District Mascot. I was looking at Terra Symbiosis, I think is the card name.
Oh yes, sure. I mean, we are recording this on Tuesday.
Yes.
And I tried to hop on the servers to do a draft, and pack one, pick one option was Terra Symbiosis. Twice in a row. I say twice in a row because I did 4 drafts, each of which I only got 3 picks in because it kept crashing. So I'm still 0 picks into a draft that I have a Bada token for. But anyway, I just don't think green white is usable right now just because of the mana base.
Yes.
I just do. Yeah, artifact is obviously a worse card type in terms of hate being easier for it. So yes, it's worse than Temporary Lockdown. But Temporary Lockdown was a fucking insane card.
Yes, no, Temporary Lockdown was insane. And yes, it's worse. And while I do think it can see play, there's very little downside to just running 4 of a braid. Because hey, they don't have the artifact. Do they have anything with 3 or less toughness? It's flat out removal.
Well, then maybe you just run it in Control X without any with no creatures. I mean,
maybe you do. Well, then if you run it there, it's their target for a braid.
Well, I know, but you're not siding in a braid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
probably.
Well, my argument is I think people just start mainboarding a braid.
Oh, I don't think that's true. Why? I don't think so. Unless people are really going hard and main decking Starcage, I don't think so. I don't think Starcage is really a main deck card, except maybe one of in the same Electrum deck. Maybe. Because then sometimes you want to hit it off the United Battlefront. Sometimes,
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sold on it because the thing with Temporary Lockdown is it was backbreaking because it felt like there was nothing you could do sometimes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
And this feels like there's so much I can do. Like, it's annoying if I'm in a token strategy, I'm malding, but
I'm just, yes, and part of it is that I'm just glad this card exists. I think every standard format should have a card like this. I think this one might be a little too weak.
Yes.
You got to find that there should be a happy. If it was Temporary Lockdown, except an artifact, then I think I'd be happier with it. Maybe.
I think also not hitting enchantments
like Innkeepers,
I don't think is 100% relevant. It's
pretty relevant, I think.
Well, Temp wouldn't hit Caretakers anyway.
Not Caretakers, Innkeepers.
Oh, Innkeepers, yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, there's sometimes just little enchantments running around that are pretty annoying, and I'm sure in the future there will be more of those, right? Like, they always print those little 2-mana, 1-mana enchantments that just happen to be really annoying. So, yeah, I mean, I get it. Yeah, I know. I think it's not amazing, but I think that it will see some play. So,
yeah. My next pick on the topic of ETBs. Yeah, we'll do this. We'll do the funny one. My pick 8. I'm gonna go with Devastating Onslaught. Okay.
Okay, I thought you were gonna do like the singer. You said ETBs, like you know who they want to talk about.
You care about ETBs when it comes to Devastating Onslaught.
Yes.
I mean, I think that the singer is a different discussion.
What do you see with it? What do you see with that?
I think there's a lot of avenues that it could be nuts. Do I think this is tier 1? Absolutely not. But do I think this is something we should consider? Maybe. Because we mentioned a card earlier that brought this to my mind. Hear me out.
Okay. Devastating also hits artifacts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Hear out this curve.
Yeah.
I don't really care what you do the first 3 turns, as long as you're playing lands. Turn 4, you play down your Magmatic Hellkite. And then turn 5, X equals 2 on your Magmatic Hellkite. That's 2 more. That is like so backbreaking. Like, because if they're going to have at least 3 non-basics most of the time. That's 3 stun counters on their mana base. They're super far behind. And then that's also 2 4/5 hasters that are going to sacrifice at the end of flying hasters. That's like 8 damage and knocking them out of 2 lands. And that's just one example of where I think the card can be a build around and be very interesting. I think all you need to do is to get to 5 mana and get the X equals 2, and in a lot of cases it's very good. I have a bit of a crack brew with this card. Using Heir Apparent. I don't think that's good, but I think it's another option to consider. I think there's a lot of things. I mean, if you're super far behind, hitting Beza with it could be interesting. Like, yes, the Bezas are going to sacrifice themselves, but like if you're down a ton of life, like if you're playing against Burn and you're down to like 2 and they're at 18, you play this, that's like 8 more life off of Beza. Among other things.
Yeah, my problem with this card is how often is it better than Molten Duplication?
Probably not often.
Not often. And how often does Molten Duplication see play?
It doesn't.
So, ergo, I would argue through the transitive property, I just don't think it's going to see much play. I think that there are some neat things you can do with it. I think the magmatic stuff is fun. I just think that there's just a ceiling to these cards where once they know it's coming, all they need to do is hold up removal, and then they just 2-for-1 you.
Yes.
And it's not that. I mean, duplications is a sorcery, right?
Molten Duplication is a sorcery, and I think Devastating Onslaught's also a sorcery.
Yeah,
I think
yes.
Another small difference is I do think being able to do it twice instead of once can be relevant.
I agree.
I think the modal not modal, but I think the X is relevant.
Yeah. I'm just having trouble like seeing it.
Yeah, I don't think it's great. It's pick 8. And I went second,
true.
so it's pick 16 between the two of us. So eventually we have to get to bad cards.
Yes, I agree.
But I think it has some merits where the occasional brew could use it and be fun. I mean, there was one time Hiroseku's second right got like second in a Moto challenge.
Yes.
So stranger things have happened, and I think this card is not entirely unrealistic to have strange things happen with it.
I think it was 4 Hitotsugus as well.
Yeah,
it was
4
a play set of
Hitotsugu,
Hitotsugu, which is really funny. Base as hell, honestly. Oh yeah, okay, sure. We all have it. You have your hot take. I'm gonna have mine that might actually pan out. Okay, here's my hot take. It was in my top 10. Sunset Saboteur.
What?
Yeah. I think Sunset Saboteur has a shot. The 2-mana 4/1 body with Menace, and in so many matchups, you don't remember this. There was a card called Graveyard Trespasser. I don't think you remember
familiar
this.
with
Okay,
the card.
you know it? Okay, because I think maybe it's some Pioneer play, maybe.
It's seen Modern play.
Really? Okay. Anyway, more to my point. I think the decks that you're playing it in are gonna have a lot of removal. Are gonna go underneath them, and 4 power. That's 5 swings. That's 5 swings total, assuming you have nothing else on the board. Like 2 mana 4 damage creature is just so, and they can't even target it. They can't target it because then there's card disadvantage for them. It seriously, and all of that, and sometimes you put a 1/1 counter on one of their creatures, which, by the way, is probably just going to end up blocking this and dying anyway, right? Like, it's a 2-mana 4/1 that has menace, so you're just going to put 1/1 counters on this creature, and then maybe, so let's say it's turn 2, you're on the play, you swing, then their turn 2, they play a 2-drop. 2-mana 2/3 or something, okay? Or maybe it's Demon Wall. 2-mana, well, that's pretty bad for you, actually, because then it can swing with the counter. Anyway, let's say it's like a 2-mana 2/3, whatever. You swing and put a counter on it. They take 4 damage. Next turn, they basically can't attack. They're forced to not be able to attack, and they have to have another creature in order to block your thing. I mean, maybe they'll swing and deal 3 to you, but whatever, you're racing them better than they're going to be racing you. You swing the next turn, they have a 4/5, whatever. You're swinging in. If you have a single removal spell, all those buffs you gave to it are gone. If they are also and they have to hold back blockers, and if you have a removal spell, they just held back blockers for nothing, because then it just swings in for free again. This card is maybe this card's actually good, like really actually quite good.
You are selling me on it.
Like, this is like one of those cards that I think slips under the radar potentially, and like. I mean, the more I'm talking about it, the higher I'm getting on it. It really, I could see it.
Wait.
Like, it just warps the game around it.
You're missing one detail that I just noticed that makes this even crazier.
Why?
It's a human rogue.
It's a human. Okay, it is an outlaw.
It's an outlaw, so shoot the sheriff doesn't hit it.
Oh my God! Wait, actually, hold on, that's quite actually. Whoa! I mean, it's not like you're wanting to point that at it anyway, but sometimes you'll have to, right?
I mean, yeah, sometimes you have to.
But sometimes you can't. Wow, wait. And I mean, it's a human, so maybe that's relevant.
Yeah, no, you've sold me on this card. This card
might actually be really good. Wait, I mean, okay, it dies to Nova Hellkite.
Sure.
But that also is card disadvantage for them. Anything's card disadvantage for it, right? Like, it's... Because it warps the entire gamer. I'm actually pretty high on it right now.
Yeah, I might be going and picking up a playset after this.
If you got 8, pick me up one. Got 8 at the store. Pick me up a fucking playset. I mean, this card's probably like less than $1 right now.
Yeah, it is right now, according to Mana Box, which using TCG prices as of recording, it's 83 cents.
I'm definitely getting I might get 2 playsets of this thing. Yeah. I'm serious. This seems like a mid-range back breaker. Like,
this, it seems insane no matter how you cut it.
I need to play test with this. Wait, it's on the fucking arena.
Yeah.
We could play test with it immediately. I need to play test with this shit immediately. Whoa.
I mean, I think this does have a slight ceiling.
Yes.
Because if this gets too good, then Nowhere to Run comes back.
Sure.
But I think if... that alone speaks to the strength of the card if you have to bring back Nowhere to Run.
Yes. I do. I see it. I mean, wow.
Yeah, no, you've sold me on this.
I could see it. I really can see it. It probably gets worse if you're on the draw, but I still can see it. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's interesting, at least.
So as your pick 8?
Yeah.
So my... oh, wait, no, that was your
pick 9. Pick 9, yeah, pick 9.
My pick 9 is going to be another card that I brewed around.
Okay.
And it is Starwinder.
Okay.
I also played with this card in pre-release, and I think it is far better than I initially read.
I thought you were going to say far better than Enduring Curiosity, and I was going to kill you.
No.
I was going to kill you.
Enduring Curiosity... it's not better than Enduring Curiosity, but I think it serves a different function. Enduring Curiosity...
isn't a Leviathan? Is that your...
No.
Okay.
No. The wording's different.
Yes,
you draw
it is.
that many cards.
Yes.
I think different board states require each one differently. Enduring Curiosity is still very good even when you only have one creature, but it doesn't feel that great.
It's evil Enduring Curiosity. Enduring Curiosity comes in at instant speed and sticks around forever. Yeah. That comes down to sorcerer speed and is around for 1 turn.
Yes.
It's literally evil Enduring Curiosity.
Yes. It's not Enduring Curiosity. So, I think 7 mana is a lot of mana.
Yeah, it is.
7 mana is a lot of mana.
Mm-hmm.
But let's crackpot theory this. This doesn't replace Enduring Curiosity, but maybe as a 1 of or a 2 of an Enduring Curiosity deck, crackpot theory it and Dimir. Turn 3, you get the Kaido down. You're able to swing it in Kaido. You warp this in. Like, yes, it could die to removal. It probably will die to removal. That's removal they're not using on your Enduring Curiosity, which is a good body.
That's I see what you're saying. It's just the argument is so funny. The line of argument you're using is play this bad card so that they don't remove Enduring Curiosity.
But I don't think it's a bad card. Because if they remove it, that's removal out of their hand. If they don't, you're drawing 4 cards off of Kaido that turn.
Okay.
And that's 4 cards. That gets you the land to play this down later as a 7-drop.
Okay. I think yes, it is a Leviathan for the Simic ramp shells, and some Leviathans actually may be good eventually, and Simic does have good lands, and whatever. I just don't. I mean, okay, you're maybe swinging. I just don't. The permanence of Enduring Curiosity it's because it's not just draw. It's a 4/3 creature on the board at instant speed. With, again, you get that optionality, you get all that. And oftentimes you're swinging with a bunch of 1/1s, maybe 2/1s. Yes, Kaido sometimes swings for 3, sometimes 4. But you're not getting to the 7 mana. You're just not. Like, on turn 7, you don't want to be casting a 7/7. You want to be casting 2 removal spells and a flash creature, right? Like, I just don't. I think if it finds a home, it's not going to be in Dimir.
I don't think it's going to be in. I don't necessarily think that's the home. I just think that's the easiest. Using the Kaido was the easiest way to explain why I think it's different than Curiosity.
Yes, it is different.
And I think in certain shells, and specifically in Simic, I mean, Crackpot, imagine hitting this with a Galta. That's 12 cards. Like, yes, it's unrealistic, but I don't. If I have to choose, like, if I don't have a great board state and I have to choose, am I killing this warp thing that's going to go away anyway or the Galta? Sure, maybe I hit the Galta.
So I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think that the Leviathan thing is relevant.
Yes.
Not necessarily right now. I mean, it is relevant right now. We did just have something that cared about Leviathans rotate in Aftermath, but that card was bad. I think that it'll be interesting because they really do like printing those Octopus Leviathan. I mean, we have Dr. Octopus, right? Like, I don't know. He's not an octopus, but he might, something might care about him. Yeah. We have Lorwyn coming. Maybe they'll care about. I mean, not necessarily.
I was going to say Summon Leviathan also doesn't hit Merfolk. Or, like, it cares about Merfolk is how I should word it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, which I guess are in. Look, I think it could be good eventually. I think it might be good when Enduring Curiosity rotates.
Fair.
That's when I think it's going to be, and I don't think it's going to be the immediate meta. So I would honestly be shocked if it appeared in a single list. That would be my.
That's fair.
So it'll be my pick 10 here. I think we actually have a good amount to choose from. So I'm interested to see what you choose. Mine, and this might come as a surprise to you, but after playing with it in pre-release, in every single one of my pools I opened it, and every single time I cast it, it was disgusting. It's 0 Point Ballad.
Oh.
I told you I wasn't high on this card.
Yeah, you argued with me about this card.
I did argue with it. I said that I don't think it's good, and I said that I don't think it's... I just missed fundamentally the idea of the one-sided board wipe plus not reducing your creature's sizes at all into Dimir, maybe as a sideboard option into Dimir, maybe as a sideboard option elsewhere, and maybe we're in a pretty bad meta for something like this. I just can't, like, it felt unreal good to cast it. It seriously did. X equals 1 for a 2 mana one-sided board wipe into Dimir sometimes, or whatever. Just even if you 2-for-1 someone, just feels really good, and you don't reduce your board size at all. It just felt. I'm serious. The pack 0 pick 1 thing that I sent. Yeah. So this was my rare that I think is going to have the highest win rate, in the entire set. For limited, I think it's so strong that I had to mention it. I just think it's gonna be at least sideboard usable.
I'm kind of sad that I forgot about this card because I am much higher on this card than you are.
Yes.
I think it's incredible. It's just like 5 mana for. I mean, black like 5 mana is a going like sweeper rate, and like off the top of my head in Dimir, if you cast this for X=4, that's a complete board wipe for Dimir. But also 9 times out of 10, you only need to hit X=2.
Yeah.
And that's 3 mana backbreaking for Dimir, because like we were talking about with Enduring Curiosity, they need those little dudes. They need the chip damage. That's how Dimir wins. Dimir doesn't have big attacks and all that. They just chip you down, and it's like, oh, I'm at 6 HP or 6 life now. That's a problem.
Yep.
And so when you take all of that away, it can be backbreaking.
I think X=1 and 2 mono white control, like the white control boards, is also really good because the problem with running the you have a nickname for him. What the fucking the black dragon? With XX
Scav?
Yes, scavenger regent. That's what it is. Yes, he calls it scav. I've never heard anyone refer to it as anything other than scavenger regent. But scav. He lowers your board's presence and costs 1 more, and being able to do X=1, your entire board is dead. I get to swing at your Elspeth. I get to swing at you. It just feels really good. I mean, sometimes you'll need to do X=3 if they have caretakers, whatever. But like, it just is good, and it's felt a lot better than I expected it to. So that's all there.
I'm sad that I didn't pick this card because I think it's much better than you think it is, and you think it's good.
Yes.
So I have the last pick. There's a lot we could choose. I think I'm going to shout out a couple that come to mind.
Okay. After you pick, here, how about this?
Yeah.
Make your pick, and then we'll discuss some cards that didn't make it.
Yeah. I'm
Briefly.
in between several, but I think I'm going to metagame this. Not playing to the meta, playing to the people.
What do you mean? Like, you think people are going to play this, and so points are going to come your way? Is that what you're... Okay, sure. No, that's what you're supposed to do.
It's lobster time, baby.
No.
It's lobster time.
Come on, no.
You don't understand. It's lobber time. Pick 20, I'm going with Regast.
You think it's not that people are going to play this. You think people are going to play this and top 8?
Yeah.
Explain.
I don't think it's that bad.
Explain.
Okay. It is not a good card. Okay. Let me rephrase this. It is not a great card. But I think by the dumb simplicity of burn, it just can get wins. If you can sacrifice a munition token, that is 5 damage for like 1 mana. And then if you have a way to gain life, a Halia even, if you're playing in an artifact, like, or just here's a 2 mana interaction that could feasibly happen in a deck like this. You don't play this in a deck outside of weapons manufacturing, so I'm not even going to consider it outside of that shell. 1 mana, you sacrifice the munition, do 5, and then you sacrifice another munition to gain 3 life. And that does another 2, so that's 7 damage in 1 turn. I don't think it's unrealistic to see this win. Like, yes, it dies to Doomblade.
Continue.
It dies to Doomblade. I don't think it's a meta-defining card. I don't think it's even a tier 3 card. But I think the people like lobsters. I think you're telling me that a shrimp fried this rice.
I can't. I just still can't believe that they would do that.
Yeah,
I don't think they would. Okay, you know what costs a tap and deals 3 damage?
What?
Swinging for 3 with Regast.
Yeah, but that can be blocked. No, Regast is a 2/2.
My bad. It's even worse than I thought. I thought it was a 3/2.
Nope, it's a 2/2.
Swinging with it could even have haste. 2 mana 3/2 haste Frenzy. You could have just Frenzy Baloth with it. I didn't put it on my list, but
Yeah.
you could have.
Yeah.
And that's 3 damage a turn. Look, don't let me dissuade you from trying fun things. You said it's not great. I think it's not good. It's bad. I think it is actively, you're shaping your whole deck around this one creature that isn't even good.
Well, that's the thing. I think in the decks you played, and you don't have to.
What are you playing at Naya? Are you playing it in Naya with the Biomech, the
No,
1/3?
I think you can stay in Boros, play Food Fight. I think the card you're shaping your deck around is weapon manufacturing, and I think this is a card that can play well with that card. Is it the best card for it? No. In my opinion, the best card for it's Rottenmouth Viper. But it's a card that can play around that.
Okay. Well, if that's the way you want to go with it, that's the way you want to go.
I mean, it's also the 20th card.
It is also the 20th card.
You gotta get some stinkers.
Sure.
But there are some other cards that I think could have and probably should have fallen in that 20th spot.
I'll go with the card that I really wanted to pick and just didn't. I think it's the strongest card we didn't pick, which is Servandum.
Servandum.
SYR. Servandum. Just in the sacrifice piles, just so incredibly strong at rebuilding your life. I didn't pick it just because, again, I don't think that the sacrifice options are going to be that strong compared to the life gain ones. I think they're just going to fall out of favor, and Servandum with it. But I think Servandum is just so strong in those shells with the sacrifice because he 2-for-1s, he gains life. He's just so strong, like so strong. And he's like a creature and a removal spell and can swing for lethal like single-handed. Like he's just so strong. I don't know. Like plays really well with things. Another one, which I wanted to pick but I didn't, is Sammy's Curiosity. You know Sammy's Curiosity or no?
I do not actually.
It's gonna be my favorite card in the draft, I think. Single green pip, gain 2 life, and make a lander token.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that could be something. I think it's important to mention, like, Biotech.
The red-green?
Yeah, the red-green guy. We mentioned him several times. I don't think that's a bad card.
What's his full name? I actually still don't know.
Biotech Specialist.
Biotech Specialist, okay. He is right up my alley. I love that kind of card, but...
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good card.
I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna call it Future Shot. Okay.
Yep.
When blue-white has better mana, Desculpting Blast.
Maybe.
I think Desculpting Blast in like a Caretaker's deck, pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I think Zoofit.
The fuck is that?
Ostroma Harmonist. It's the guy that returns things without abilities.
Oh.
I think you can shape something around him. I don't love him per se, but I think the fact that he doesn't exile the creature, like I think it's the fact that the creature comes
no
back,
finality.
not a token.
Yeah.
I think that's relevant. You can make some interesting things. Any Casual Vestige, the Eldrazi, I think is a notable card.
Mm-hmm. Especially with something like the Green Overlord or Hotwoods.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pinnacle Emissary seems interesting.
What is that one?
It is the one that can warp for a hybrid. Is it whenever you cast an artifact?
Oh yeah.
Spell.
I mean that one's probably pretty good in Synthesizer. We kind of surprised we didn't mention that one. That one's good. Yeah.
We talked about Frenzied Baloth.
Yeah.
I think that could be good eventually.
I think that probably deserved to be in the top 20, but just didn't end up. It
probably didn't. There's a couple I'm going through that probably deserved to be. Starfield Vocalist I don't think deserved to be, but I think it's a notable card to think about.
It's interesting, but I don't know. I think I'm like married to the blue adventure side of the Virtue, the blue Virtue. Yes. You know what I'm talking about. I really like the blue Virtue a lot. Oh, fucking the blue-black board wipe. I still can't believe that wasn't. I mean, it's not on my list because I don't think it's gonna be tier 1 yet. But it's gonna be my favorite thing to play probably. Yeah, it's definitely going to be my favorite deck to play from this, but it's not going to be good.
I think Beyond the Quiet is a card to keep an eye out.
Yes, I don't think exiling is relevant enough yet to justify it, but you know maybe I mean I think Ultima's just better than it.
Yes.
In most cases, I mean obviously Raise the Past is going to make it see play. Beyond the Quiet, So I mean, it's fair enough, right? Like I think just the exile from Beyond the Quiet is probably good enough to see play just into that as a meta pick, right? But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I think hitting the artifacts with Ultima is better in most metas, but maybe going into this white black only lands type of thing, it's good. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's it for me.
I think that's it for me as well. How many? So just this is going to be out there because no idea. We've never done this before. How many points do you think you're going to get?
When Spider-Man come out, like I'm gonna stick
September.
at a solid. I think 100.
100. You think 100 copies? How? Okay. I was gonna go with like 150. I think like 150.
I think your list is more reliably 150. I think you hit a couple cards that I should have thought of.
Yeah.
When I was picking the cards originally, we didn't have the format finalized, so I think I would have gone back and changed a couple. But I think I mainly wanted to talk about certain cards.
Yeah, because we have what, like almost 4 weeks,
Yeah, almost 4 weeks.
or so not 4 weeks, 8 weeks, 8 weeks.
Yeah. So, and I mean, I don't know if we have any major tournaments coming up, but
I mean, do we not? I don't know.
I don't.
Ugh. That's actually. I mean, Japan always has some random shit.
Yeah.
So maybe we got something in
So,
Japan.
I don't know, but with rotation, a lot of people, when rotation happens, a lot of people flock to standard
Yep.
because they're like, especially now that Shieldred's gone, there's no excuse to not play standard because it's a good format now that Shieldred's gone.
Oh right, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Shieldred was the bane of the format.
Yes.
Thank God. Finally, 3 years later, it's gone.
Exactly.
I wasn't gonna play until it was gone. So
Yeah. No, exactly.
here's fun little stipulation. If either of us win a store championship or like an RCQ or something, the cards that we win with go towards either of our points. Like if you win a store championship, the cards it would go towards both of our points.
I agree.
Okay.
I almost like the idea of saying they do double.
They do double for yourself or
Yeah,
for
if
both
you
people?
Win. No.
Oh.
So like if you win, those cards count double. For
Okay.
Like a store championship or an RC.
I'm running 4 annuls in my sideboard. Okay, but they would count for both people, but double for yourself.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Okay, sure. Fuck it. Why
Yeah.
not? All right. Well, that seems fun.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, we just end it there.
Yeah, I think we just ended there.
Okay, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was
Here.
fun.
When do you have to go?
Probably like now.
Yeah.
I'll probably be late, but Matt won't care. Yeah. I'll just